Before, we were in Lumiere, and Lumiere is pretty nice as well. The characters, the atmosphere was pretty fun and enjoyable. I like the bad antagonist in this movie, which is Gaston. I liked his lackey, and I also like that the Gaston lackey had a girlfriend, at least at the end of the movie. And we see some of the songs and enjoyable. I like the scenery. I like most of the movie. I give for art or for backgrounds, I give it a 6. For characters, I give it and 7. And 7, that's it. And for story, I give it half a 5 of a 6. Half a 6 out of 5. And the interesting thing is, I like the part when Belle discovers that she can go to her mother. That's later in the movie. Beast and Belle gets together with relationships, and she actually pushes out her father and stuff. And in this movie, we discover why the father became a bit, much protective. He is protective in the original, but he sends into the major difference, he almost got into this cuckoo house that they wanted to send him. That was actually in the original. They sent him into the cuckoo house or something. Maybe they saved him in the original. I don't really remember because I didn't watch that movie for a long time. Anyway, Belle saves him and he gets almost to the cuckoo house. But the point is, he also asks Belle why did he get the rose thing from where she was a child, but she told him that Beast helped her and stuff, and he's like, the Beast? Did he help? Is he serious? Are you serious? The Beast, I think he would kill you. But he was a nice guy, and we know that because of the original movie. But the point is, I like this movie anyway. The thing I liked was the book were they introduced, because the Beast showed her a book that you can wish to go anywhere you want. This review is a spoiler review. Spoiler review. Thanks. So you have it clear. Thank you. Anyway, I like the Architect Savior guy, that was Clockwork. And back to the book. In the book you can wish for anything to go, and go wherever you want to go, basically. So she got away, or she decided to go with him, and he has this funny moments with eating and stuff, and the usual stuff that we saw in the original, except one other change. We don't have the bird scene with the Beast giving food to the birds. That's the difference. And also the coat that Belle wears is not a fur coat, but I understand they maybe needed to change it. Or maybe they are lazy. Maybe. Anyway, in the book they take her to, she wants to go to Paris. And she goes to Paris, and they go weirdly enough, exactly the same place where she was a child. Where she was a child when she was born. And now we know why her father took her, and her mother is dead. Actually, that's an interesting thing. They are not showing why the mother died. And the mother died, unfortunately, of the Black Plague. Oh god, that's disgusting. And secondly, I was very sad. I was actually sad about that. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I understand that her mother died, but in that circumstance, though to be fair, this is back in the time period exactly that the Black Plague could have happened. So I would have guessed it, but I didn't do it. I didn't guess it then. Anyway, she died of the Black Plague, but she decided that she said to her husband, take the child away from here, and they're trying to cure her, but they cannot do anything, and if she stays with the child will be infected by the Black Plague. And Belle is a little baby, and that's higher much risk to die. Like, let us say an adult, it takes a high risk to die, but a child is like this. Boom! You're almost dead. Or you're like, snap, you're almost gonna die soon. And they took the thing that was the little toy thing when you're a child. The little thing you play with. I don't remember what that thing is called, but skull jiggle thing. I tried to remember the name, alright? I tried to remember the name of the toy. Anyway, the little baby toy. And it's a rose with silver on it. Or a type of silver staff thing. That sounds and ding 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 ding. That does that. And I don't understand the father. He's like kissing it. And she had touched it with the Black Plague body. Or the Black Plague hand. The Black Plague hand. Not a good idea. If I guess this. The father must be immune. Or second, the daughter must be immune. Some people could be immune to this. It actually happened. Some people were immune. But the point is, never freaking touch the thing like this. No. Not a good idea. At all. You will surely die of that. Even if it takes centuries to that plague go away, not a good idea. Thanks. Anyway, the funny musics and stuff with Lumiere's be my guest, be my guest, be my empty guest, be my guest, be my guest. And I also like the some of these characters had different designs on them. For example, Lumiere's lover, Plume, or I don't really remember her name. Yeah, Plume, I think. I don't remember her name really right now. Anyway, she was transformed into the thing that you clean the castle with. Dust Plume, Dust Whip with, or Duster. Or I don't really remember that name of that thing you clean the castle with. You know, you clean the books and stuff. I guess I have it in my head. But every one of those servants that actually worked on that particular job, they got turned into the birds. They are type of bird things, objects. Everyone get turns in objects in this movie. Pretty fun, pretty nice. The dogs get turned. Actually, the dog stays the same. The dog stays as the little thing you put your shoes or your feet on. When you want to sit in a chair and then also sit with your feet up and relax. Pall. Eller a stool or something like that. And the other servants got turned into, for example, Lumiere definitely got turned to a lamp or a candle. No, not a candle, a chandelier. No, not a chandelier. A candle holder. Yeah, a candle holder. That is it. Sorry, I don't remember every ornament of things you can use to be transformed into. Anyway, and Clockwork got into a clock. That's pretty simple. Anyway, it's interesting how they incorporated it, and I even find an Easter egg in this movie. I found that there was in the background a type of white drawer drawer for outfits and stuff for women or men. I don't really know. I think it was that. And it was a white one that looked like big, like exactly the one in Disney version. Exactly, almost the one. That's an interesting Easter egg I found. Pretty interesting. I don't know if it's an Easter egg or if it's a miss on the background. If you watch the movie, maybe you can confirm it. Can someone please confirm it in the text down below on YouTube later? Good. Anyway, I like the father, I like the actors, and actually, Gaston actually left the father to die once. And he's like, give me your daughter or not. He's like, punched. And we actually got to know Gaston, what type of war it was. A type of civil war with something. It's a type of war with some country. But we know that he was actually crazy because he liked people's death and screams and stuff. Something that his ally or, Gaston's little buddy told him, "Oh, think about those times you shot those people, and you shot them, and you hear the screams." And I'm like, dude, you're messed up in the head. You're messed up in the head. You can be beautiful and kind and charming in your other ways, but you're messed up in your goddamn head. Though, to be fair, I'm not blaming you exactly on it. I'm blaming you on the goddamn war, because it sent you to madness in your damn brain. And also you decided to choice. You decided to do your choice of going to it, so technically it's half your fault. Technically it's half your fault. Anyway, he was pretty crazy. He tried to let the father die, and then the old woman that always begged in this in the movie, it was a woman that always begged, and no one would give her nothing, and the father would give her kindness. And in the end we realized that first it was an old woman, you know basically the story of this one. It's the classic Disney from the Renaissance. Yeah, she gets in, and in this case the prince actually gets jealous because she's ugly, which makes sense. Not. It doesn't make no sense. And then she punishes him shit. And everyone's turns, and the castle is not beautiful anymore. Pretty good castle though. And in the end the castle was with knights, not with demon horses. Which is type of demon gargoyle horses. Statues. Anyway, I'm jumping around in this review. I remember much of this movie, but the point is that I like the thing where the father, for example, another key point I liked was when the father constructed a type of gyps windmill thing when you have stuff, and that he created exactly, which was with like, does he have photographic memory or something, or remembers well his memory, because he did exactly when he was young, had a child, a Belle, when her mother and her was posing to the same picture that they have in their house. He must have looked at the picture to paint it. Anyway though, he did sculpt figurines with mechanics to move, to do a little music box. I will give this to him. Pretty good on that job. That's actually pretty good, because this is back in the times where you don't have the computers, and it's pretty good craftsmanship. I can say that. And it's sadly Belle didn't look at that thing. She know that that's the same thing he wanted to transport. Actually, he made many models of these to transport and sell to another village or something. Except he got sidetracked by a fucking lightning guy, or not a lightning guy, sorry, he got sidetracked by lightning, and lightning shooted down a tree and stopped him to go that way he usually goes to get a goddamn rose. Though to be fair, it needs to go the same way as the original Disney movie did, so I cannot blame exactly on that, technically. But technically yes, that's a pretty stretch. Though to be fair, in this movie they have a lot of character, and some of these people, villagers, like, yeah, we should go fight, and then some are like, I remember this place, and they're like, I'm like, and the Mrs. Pot remembers Miss Potts, and he's like, save me, and that was a funny scene, and she's like, if you don't move away here, I will burn you with warming water. And she also said in the movie what one of the fine lines for from the character Mrs. Potts were, if you don't go to the Belle and go to eat with her when she accepted to go to eat with him in the eating dinner table place, she's like, I'm never gonna serve you warm tea again. Never. You're gonna have cold tea every goddamn time in your life. And he's like, okay, I am gonna clean up and be nice and look nice. And Lumiere fucked it up by, sorry for my words, Lumiere pretty much destroyed his face. Not exactly destroyed, but painted it as it would be when he was human. Though to be fair, he was the guy that always did that when they were human and now turned into ordinance. So, anyway, my short answer to this review and this video is I like this movie. It didn't go out of the ground much, but it did in some aspects. Actually, we saw the witch coming in there, and she was one of the people. And we also remembered about Belle's mother and how she died. She died anyway, which is meaning Disney always make it die anyway. Not those people that are doing Disney now. I mean, they wanted to keep it similar. A bit too similar though. Anyway, I don't blame it. It was a better movie than Silence. Actually. Technically it was a better movie than Silence. By a long stretch. Much long stretch. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this review. Have a fun time. And my final score for this review. Pretty nice, Lumiere. Pretty nice. Be my guest, and goodbye.